The night was dark on the planet Velkera. The sky was filled with red and orange flames. The great palace of Velkera was burning. Smoke rose high, and the sound of shouting filled the air. This was no ordinary fire. It was a rebellion. Princess Elira, only 8 years old, was trapped inside the burning palace. She could hear the shouts of soldiers and rebels outside. Her heart beat fast. She was scared. The fire was getting closer. The thick smoke made it hard to breathe. She held tightly to the hand of her nursemaid, but suddenly the floor beneath them cracked and broke. They fell into a dark room filled with smoke and heat. The nursemaid was hurt and could not move. Elira was alone. Tears ran down her cheeks as she looked around for a way out. She could see flames licking the walls. The door was blocked. Panic filled her tiny body. Just when she thought it was the end, a shadow appeared at the edge of the firelight. A figure dressed in shining silver armor stepped forward. His helmet covered his face, but his movements were quick and sure. Without hesitation, he reached out to her. "Come with me," a deep voice said. Elira did not ask questions. She grabbed his hand, and he pulled her up. They ran through burning halls and fallen beams. The heat was unbearable, but the man never slowed. He shielded her from the worst of the smoke. Outside the palace, the fire was even worse. Flames rose like a storm. The man carried Elira in his arms and dashed through the burning garden. Behind them, the palace began to collapse. Finally, they reached safety. The man set Elira down gently on the cool grass. She looked up at him, but he was already turning away. "Wait, who are you?" she called, her voice trembling. He stopped for a moment and took off his helmet. A pair of kind, tired eyes looked back at her. Then, without another word, he placed a small silver tag in her hand. It was strange. It looked like a dog tag with letters and numbers on it. Before Elira could ask again, the man disappeared into the night, vanishing as quickly as he had come. Elira held the tag tightly. It was her only proof that the man was real. She did not know his name. She did not know where he came from, but she would never forget him. The man who saved her from the fire. Back inside the palace ruins, the rebels were captured. The king and queen returned, but Elira was changed. She had survived something no one else had. The silver-armored man became her secret, a ghost in her memory. Years later, whenever she felt scared or alone, she would hold the silver tag and remember the night she was saved by a stranger. She would wonder, who was he? Where did he go? And why had he come to save her? The answer waited far away, beyond the stars, in a world she had never dreamed she would visit. Years passed since the fire on Velkera. Princess Elira was no longer a small child. Now she was a young woman. She wore the royal clothes of her people and carried the proud air of a future leader. But deep inside, her heart held a secret. She still remembered the night she was saved. The silver-armored man, the fire, and the strange dog tag he had left behind. No one else in the palace believed her story. They said it was just a dream from childhood. But Elira knew it was real. She kept the small silver tag safe in a hidden box in her room. Sometimes she took it out and looked at the letters and numbers engraved on it. She hoped one day she would find the man who saved her. The palace was busy with politics and wars. The kingdom of Velkera had many enemies. Elira trained hard to become strong and smart. She learned to fight, to speak many languages, and to understand the ways of the galaxy. The galaxy was changing fast. A new group had entered the great galactic stage, humans. They came from Earth, a planet far, far away. Humans were different. They were brave, sometimes reckless, but full of strange ideas and courage. The Galactic Concord, the group that kept peace between many alien worlds, was worried about humans. Many did not trust them. They thought humans were wild and dangerous. But Elira felt something different. She felt a strange connection to humans, though she did not understand why. One day, Aelira stood in the Great Hall of Memory. It was a huge room filled with statues and paintings of Velcura's history. The walls told stories of battles and heroes, of kings and queens long gone. Aelira touched the cold stone and thought about her own story, the secret one no one else knew. Her mind went back to the silver-armored man. Why had he come? Why had he saved her? And where was he now? Suddenly, a message arrived from the Galactic Concord. Aelira was chosen to lead a mission to a distant space station called Galthros Prime. It was a place where many different species met to discuss peace and trade. Aelira accepted the mission. It was a chance to prove herself, to help her people, and maybe to find answers. She packed her things and took the silver dog tag from her secret box. She held it tightly. "Maybe this mission will bring me closer to the truth," she whispered. As her ship left Velcura's orbit, Aelira looked out at the stars. The galaxy was wide and full of secrets. Somewhere out there, her silver-armored savior waited. And soon, their paths would cross again. The space station Galthros Prime floated quietly in the endless black of space. It was a busy place, full of different aliens from many worlds. Ships came and went, diplomats talked, and secrets moved through the air like invisible threads. Princess Aelira stepped off her ship. She was ready. Years of training had prepared her for this moment. She wore her royal uniform, and her eyes shone with determination. But inside, her heart raced. This was her first mission far from Velcura, and the first time she might meet someone from Earth, the humans. She moved through the crowd with grace, but her mind stayed on one thing: the silver-armored man who saved her long ago. Was he here? Could he be one of these strangers? As she walked into the main hall, a voice called out behind her, "Sparks, over here." Aelira stopped. The voice was familiar, rough but friendly. She turned to see a tall man with short, dark hair and a confident smile. He wore a uniform covered in badges and medals, showing he was important. His eyes sparkled with a mix of humor and challenge. "Who are you?" Aelira asked, her curiosity growing. "Name's Jack Ryden," the man said, stepping closer. "I'm Earth's envoy here at Galthros Prime." Aelira studied him carefully. There was something about Jack Ryden, something that stirred memories deep inside her. But she shook her head. Could it be him? It seemed impossible. Jack grinned. "Don't look so serious. You remind me of a small firecracker I once knew." Aelira frowned. "Firecracker? You. Back on Velcura," he said. "You're tougher than you look, Sparks." Aelira blinked. "How do you know that name?" Jack's smile faded for a moment. "It's a long story," he said, "but I've been watching you." That made Aelira uneasy. "Watching me?" "Yes," Jack said. "You're important. More than you know. And the galaxy is changing fast." Suddenly, alarms rang through the station. Red lights flashed. Voices shouted in many languages. Pirates had attacked the station without warning. Without thinking, Jack grabbed Aelira's arm. "Come on. We need to get to safety." They ran through corridors filled with smoke and flashing lights. Jack moved with skill and confidence, knowing every twist and turn. Aelira followed closely, trusting him without fully understanding why. They reached a control room where guards were fighting off intruders. Jack jumped into the fray, fighting with strength and speed. Aelira used her training to help, deflecting attacks and protecting civilians. During the fight, Jack moved in a way that surprised Aelira. He knew the layout of the Velcuran Palace, exactly how to block certain exits and trap enemies. How could he know that? When the pirates were finally defeated, Aelira looked at Jack in new light. "Who are you, really?" she asked quietly. Jack smiled, but did not answer. Instead, he said, "We have much to talk about, Sparks, but not now." Aelira nodded, feeling a new connection growing between them. The silver-armored man she remembered was no longer just a memory. He was standing right beside her. After the pirate attack, the space station Galthros Prime was quiet again, but the tension remained. Princess Aelira and Commander Jack Ryden stood side by side, both aware that something bigger was happening. Aelira still had many questions about Jack. How did he know so much about Velcura? Why did he call her Sparks? But she did not want to push him too hard yet. Days later, while inspecting the station's defenses, a sudden alarm rang out. This time, it was not pirates. It was a trap. Enemy forces had surrounded the station, planning a full-scale attack. The situation was dangerous. The station's security forces were outnumbered and needed strong leaders. Jack turned to Aelira. "We have to work together. Trust me." Aelira nodded. She felt a strange mix of fear and hope. As the battle began, Jack's knowledge surprised everyone. He knew exactly how the enemy would strike and where to send the troops. His strategies combined Velcaran tactics with human surprise. During the fight, Aelira noticed something strange. Jack moved quickly, but he also hesitated when they reached a certain hallway. It was a place that looked like the inside of the Velcaran palace, familiar and personal. She stepped closer. "Jack, do you know this place?" He looked away, then nodded. "More than I should." Suddenly, an explosion rocked the station. Debris flew everywhere. Jack shielded Aelira, taking a heavy blow to his shoulder. She saw the pain in his eyes, but also the determination. After the fight, Aelira helped Jack tend to his wound. She noticed a long scar running across his back under his armor, exactly like the one she remembered from the night of the fire. Her heart raced. Could this really be the man who saved her? "Jack," she whispered, "are you the one who saved me that night?" Jack looked at her silently. For a moment, he said nothing. Then he finally spoke, his voice low but steady. "Yes, Aelira, I was there. I couldn't leave you behind." Aelira felt a flood of emotions: shock, relief, anger, and gratitude. "Why didn't you tell me?" she asked, her voice trembling. Jack sighed. "I had to keep it secret. My mission was classified. I wasn't supposed to get close to anyone, especially not a princess." Aelira took a deep breath. "You saved me, then left without a word. How was I supposed to trust you?" Jack looked her in the eyes. "I didn't want you to remember me as a spy or a soldier. I wanted you to be safe." Silence filled the room. Aelira looked at Jack, her childhood hero, now a man standing before her. The trust between them was fragile but growing. "We need each other," Jack said finally. "The galaxy is dangerous, but together, we can protect it." Aelira nodded. "Then let's face it, together." In that moment, two worlds began to come closer, connected by a secret from the past and a hope for the future. After the battle on Galthros Prime, Princess Aelira could not stop thinking about Jack Ryden's secret. He was the silver-armored man who saved her as a child. This truth changed everything. But there were still many questions. Why had Jack kept his identity hidden for so long? What was his real mission back then? And most important, why had he returned now? Aelira knew she needed answers. She went to the palace library, a huge place filled with records and old data. The library was quiet, except for the soft hum of the starship engines far outside. She searched through the archives, looking for anything about the rebellion years ago. She typed in every word she could think of: rescue, special ops, silver armor, Spectre 11. Suddenly, a file appeared on the screen. It was marked classified and showed a list of secret missions during the Velcaran Rebellion. One mission caught her eye: Operation Spectre 11, a rescue operation at the Velcaran Palace. The file had almost no details, just a call sign and a date. But it matched the night she was saved. Aelira's fingers trembled as she read further. The file showed that Spectre 11 was a human soldier sent on a secret mission. The mission was to extract important VIPs, but the soldier had gone off the plan. He had chosen to save a child. Her heart raced as she looked closer. There was a small, blurry image of a man in silver armor. The face was hidden, but the body shape looked like Jack. She felt a mix of hope and anger. Why had this been kept from her? Why had no one told the truth? Later, Alyra met Jack in the station's quiet garden. The stars shone above them, far away and cold. "Jack," she said softly, holding out the file. "I found this. It says you were Spectre 11. That you saved me on purpose, even when it was against orders." Jack took the file and looked at it silently. His jaw tightened. It was true. I was sent to rescue important people, but when I saw you trapped, I knew I couldn't leave. "Why didn't you tell me before?" Alyra asked. Jack looked at the stars. "Because it was dangerous. The mission was secret. If anyone knew, it could have caused a war. I wanted to protect you, and my people." Alyra nodded slowly. "You risked everything for me." Jack's eyes met hers. "Because you're not just a princess. You're a symbol of hope, strength, and the future of our worlds." Alyra smiled for the first time in days. "Maybe it's time to stop hiding the truth." Jack agreed. "The galaxy is watching. If we show them humans and Valkyrans can work together, maybe peace will be possible." The two stood side by side under the stars. The secret buried in starlight was now revealed, and the future was theirs to shape. Days passed since Princess Alyra uncovered the truth about Jack Ryden. She still felt a whirlwind of emotions, trust, anger, and hope all mixed inside her heart. The more she learned about Jack, the more she wanted to understand him. One evening, the two met in a quiet room aboard the space station. The stars outside twinkled softly, but inside, the air was heavy with unspoken words. Alyra looked at Jack. "Tell me about the night you saved me," she said quietly. "I want to know everything." Jack nodded slowly. "It was chaos. The palace was burning, the rebels attacking. I was sent on a secret mission to rescue important people." He paused, searching for the right words. "When I found you, trapped in the fire, I couldn't leave. You were just a child. I carried you out, even though it was against orders." Alyra's eyes shone with tears. "I remember the fire, and you. But there is something I've never understood." She gently pulled back a part of Jack's armor at his shoulder. Beneath it was a long, jagged scar. Jack's expression grew serious. "That scar. I got it that night. Falling debris hit me while I protected you." Alyra reached out, touching the scar lightly. "It's the same scar I imagined all these years. I knew my savior was hurt." Jack smiled faintly. "I wanted to tell you before, but my mission was secret, and I had to disappear." "Why?" Alyra asked, confused. "Because if anyone knew a human had helped Valkyra secretly, it could start a war," Jack said. "Not everyone trusts humans. Some would see me as a spy." Alyra's heart ached. "You carried this secret and the scar alone." Jack looked at her. "I did it because I believed in you, in your people, and in a future where humans and Valkyrans could stand together." Alyra took his hand. "Maybe that future can start now." Jack nodded. "We face hard times ahead, but together we are stronger." The moment was quiet but powerful. Two souls from different worlds connected by courage, sacrifice, and a secret from the past. Outside, the stars shone brightly. The galaxy was watching, and a new chapter was beginning. The quiet peace on Galthros Prime did not last long. Shadows from the past began to rise. Princess Alyra and Jack Ryden had started working closely together. They were planning how to bring peace between Valkyra and the human worlds. But not everyone wanted that peace. Some powerful leaders from Valkyra's council did not trust humans. They whispered that Jack might be a spy. They feared that showing friendship to humans would weaken Valkyra. One night, Alyra received a secret message. The message warned her that someone was trying to hurt Jack and stop their plan. It said that the council's most trusted guards were watching Jack closely. Alyra felt worried. She trusted Jack with her life, but now she knew danger was closer than ever. She went to Jack's quarters. Jack was sitting quietly, looking at the silver dog tag she had once held as a child. "Jack," Alira said softly, "someone wants to harm you. The council does not like what we are doing." Jack looked up and smiled sadly. "I knew this would happen, but I am ready. I will fight for what is right." Alira nodded. "We must be careful, but we cannot stop now." Days later, during a meeting with the council, the whispers became louder. One council member, Lord Veshin, stood up and accused Jack of betrayal. "You are a spy," Veshin said, his voice cold. "You came here to destroy Velkera from inside." Jack looked at the council calmly. "I am not a spy. I saved Princess Alira because I believe in peace." The council was divided. Some trusted Jack, but many believed Veshin. Alira stood up, her voice strong. "We need unity, not fear. Jack saved me when I was a child. He is not our enemy." But the words were not enough. The council decided to put Jack on trial. They wanted proof of his loyalty. Jack accepted the trial. He knew it was a test of trust and courage. As the trial day came closer, Alira and Jack prepared together. They knew their fight was bigger than them. It was for the future of their worlds. The day of the trial arrived quickly. The grand hall of Velkera's council was filled with important leaders, soldiers, and citizens. Princess Alira sat at the front, her heart pounding. Jack Ryden stood in the center, calm but ready. The council chamber was large and cold. Tall windows showed the stars outside. The council members watched Jack closely. Many still doubted him. Lord Veshin led the accusations. "Jack Ryden has lied to us. He is a spy sent to weaken Velkera. We demand proof of his loyalty." Jack stepped forward. "I have nothing to hide. I will show you who I am." The trial was not like any other. It was a test of skill, courage, and truth. Jack was asked to explain his mission and prove he was honest. He told the story of the night he saved Princess Alira from the fire. He showed the silver dog tag, the scar on his shoulder, and spoke about his secret mission, Operation Spectre 11. Some council members murmured in surprise, but others still looked doubtful. Then Jack was given a challenge. He must face the trial by fire, a dangerous test used to prove bravery. It was a test few survived. The trial would take place in a simulated arena, filled with fire, traps, and enemies. Jack had to prove he was worthy of Velkera's trust. As Jack entered the arena, flames flickered around him. The air was hot, and the ground shook with danger. He moved quickly, using all his skills to avoid traps and fight off enemies. Inside the arena, Jack's mind went back to the night he saved Alira. The fire, the smoke, the fear, he remembered it all. But this time, he was not alone. He fought for the future of both their worlds. The trial was long and hard, but Jack did not give up. He showed strength, courage, and honor. When he finally emerged from the arena, the crowd was silent. Then, one by one, they started to applaud. Even Lord Veshin nodded, respect in his eyes. Princess Alira stood and smiled proudly. Jack has proven his loyalty. He is not just a hero of Velkera, but a symbol of hope. The council agreed to accept Jack as an ally. It was a new beginning. But the trial was only the start. Many challenges still lay ahead for Alira, Jack, and their people. Together, they would face whatever the galaxy threw at them. Because when two worlds unite, nothing is impossible. After the trial, the mood on Galthros Prime changed. The Velkeran Council officially welcomed Jack Ryden as an ally. It was a moment many never thought would come. Princess Alira and Jack stood together, ready to build a new future. Their bond was stronger now, and hope filled their hearts. The galaxy was still full of danger. Many species watched the alliance closely, some with hope, others with fear. Alira and Jack began their work to unite Velkera and Earth. They met with diplomats, planned trade agreements, and shared knowledge about their worlds. Jack taught the Velkerans about human technology and ways to improve their defenses. Aelira showed humans the beauty and wisdom of Velkeran culture. One evening, during a meeting in the starlit gardens of Galthros Prime, Aelira and Jack talked about their pasts and their hopes. "Do you ever miss Earth?" Aelira asked. Jack smiled softly. "Sometimes, but here with you, I feel at home." Aelira looked at him and felt a warmth inside. "We come from different worlds, but maybe that makes us stronger." Their friendship grew, and with it, the alliance between their people. But trouble was not far away. A secret group, unhappy with the new alliance, began to plan against them. They wanted to keep the old ways, fear and war. One night, Aelira received a warning from a trusted friend. "They are planning something," the message said. "We must be ready." Aelira knew the fight was not over. But with Jack by her side, she felt ready to face whatever came. Together, they would protect their worlds and the fragile peace they had built. The alliance had begun. The future was theirs to fight for. The warning came just before dawn. Princess Aelira and Jack Ryden stood on the bridge of the space station Galthros Prime, watching the stars blink in silence. But beneath the calm, danger stirred. The secret group that opposed their alliance had launched an attack. Their ships moved fast, trying to catch the station unprepared. Jack's eyes sharpened. "They want to break us, Aelira, but they will fail." Aelira nodded, her voice steady. "We fight for peace, for our people." Alarms blared. Red lights flashed everywhere. The crew hurried to their stations. The battle had begun. Jack and Aelira moved quickly, leading the defense. Jack coordinated the human forces, while Aelira inspired the Velkeran soldiers. The enemy ships fired powerful weapons, but the defenders were ready. Together, humans and Velkerans fought as one. Jack piloted his fighter with skill, dodging enemy fire and striking back hard. Aelira used her strategic mind to guide the fleet, finding weak points in the attackers' formation. The battle was fierce, but the unity between humans and Velkerans was stronger than anyone expected. During the fight, Jack's fighter was hit. He struggled to control the ship, but Aelira's voice came over the radio. "Jack, you can do this. We believe in you." With a final burst of energy, Jack regained control and destroyed the enemy's flagship. The attackers began to retreat. The space station and its defenders had won. After the battle, Aelira and Jack stood together on the observation deck. The stars seemed brighter, a new dawn rising. "We did it," Aelira said softly. "Together." Jack smiled, looking at her. "This is just the beginning. Our worlds can build something better if we keep trusting each other." Aelira nodded. "The past tried to keep us apart, but now our future is joined." They watched the stars in silence, knowing many challenges still waited, but they were ready. Because they had each other, and a new dawn had come. The galaxy would never be the same.